Hey, what's up? It's Takashi with Cactus Warehouse. I'm back. I was a little busy. I got married, but I'm back to providing cactus content. And I got something special today. Hey, what's up? My name is Takashi with Cactus Warehouse. I run a small, like 5-acre cactus nursery or farm or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it's a small family-owned business, and we sell cactus online. And today I just want to tell you about this beauty right here. This right here is called the Trichocereus Terscheckii, and it also has a bunch of other names, Echinopsis Terscheckii, and there's about like 3, 4, maybe even like 5 more. Honestly, I can't keep up with all the names, so I go with Trichocereus Terscheckii. And if you want to keep it even simpler, the common name for this bad boy, this thick bad boy right here, is the Argentine Saguaro. It's not a real saguaro, but hey, fake it till you make it, am I right? No, just kidding. But yeah, the Argentine Saguaro, if that's what you want to call it. And yeah, I mean, just take a look at how beautiful this thing is. So today what I want to do is just tell you everything that I know about it, tell you why I love it, and also I'll show you a little video of me digging up and handling one of these bad boys, because they're one of the bigger cacti that I deliver. And sometimes people have questions about, like, hey, if you're all alone, like how do you move these things? So I'll show you what I do, and if you guys have any tips for me, I'm always open for feedback. And yeah. First, let's talk about the appearance of these Argentine saguaros, these fat boys. These, honestly, if you guys love cacti with thick ribs, holy moly, look at this. Look at these ribs right here. Oh my gosh. Check out these aerials. And aerials are, so see this little like, yeah, see that little like gray area right there where the spines are coming out of? That is called an aerial. And it's actually one of the defining features of a cactus. And what a lot of people will do to sometimes ID is kind of count the spines that are coming out of there, I believe. And also, if a succulent doesn't have one of these, because these are where like the offshoots, flowers, definitely spines will come out of. But if a succulent doesn't have one of these, it's not a true cacti. So yeah, little cacti knowledge. Look at how beautiful this is. Actually, funny story about these Argentine saguaros. When Lisa and I were first getting into this, and it was like one of our first packing days, she came out and she was like in these sandals that were like honestly made of like plastic or whatever. And I was like, yo babe, you gotta put on some shoes like this, you know, you gotta get them steel toe boots out here. And she's like, no, I'm fine, you know, because I was doing all the digging and stuff, and she was just helping me pack. And she stepped on one of these, oh my gosh. And I need to show you like how gnarly these spines are on some of them. Oh my gosh, the spine was like, and it went in her foot. Oh, here's some that are a little bit longer. Look at that thing. That is long. And she stepped on it and she started screaming, and I was like freaking out. I was actually on the phone with a customer, and I hung up because I was so scared, and I ran over to her and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna pull this out on a count of 3. And I went to pull it. I was like, 1, 2, 3, and I pulled, and it didn't come out. And I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is in deep. And then I pulled it out on like another attempt, and I just, oh, that's crazy, you know. Being an EMT or a firefighter, that was my dream when I was like 17. Yeah, not for me. I can't even handle a little spine injury. But yeah, little side story about that. Yeah, let's go dig one of these out. A little unfortunate, but maybe I can dig into the archives and find an older clip of these blooms. These have some of the prettiest flowers. They're these big, beautiful white flowers. And they're usually night blooming, but honestly, I've had a lot of luck catching them in the day. So that's what you see here, like the start of it. And this one's one that already bloomed, so we missed it. I was probably not here. I was getting married in Japan. Yeah, a little plug right there. Your boy's married. And these will just like naturally fall off, so no need to do anything with them. So what a lot of people actually love about the Argentine saguaros is that of the columnar species, they're some of the more cold hardy cactus. I think they can get down to, you know, they're okay and they can tolerate temperatures to about like 15 degrees maybe. And honestly, maybe even colder if it's just for like a short amount of time. Maybe like I've read online like single digit. So if anybody's out there in single digit places and you have one of these, let me know how it's going for you. And yeah, that's what I've heard online. So I think they can do great. I think the one thing that you might want to avoid is just cold and wet. Cold, they're okay. But if it's cold and wet at the same time, that combo is just like, what are some bad combos together? Like orange juice and brownies, or like, what are some other bad combos? I blanked out right there. Let's go dig one of these out, and I'm gonna dig probably like a 3-foot one, because any bigger than that, they're a little too heavy for me at the moment because I haven't been in the gym for a little bit. I just haven't, but I'm gonna get back into it, and that's okay. But one of the tools I like to use when I'm just handling these by myself is a rope like this, gloves. I double glove these, but I use a thorn armor. That's what's inside here. A lot of people always ask what kind of gloves I use. So they're thorn armor, hex armor. I get them on Amazon. If somebody from Thorn Armor is seeing this, you know, send me a bunch. I love them. And a shovel. And that's about all you need for digging it out, potting it, and things like that. So let's go. The other day I was trying to like make this video about this, and I was talking about carpet, so I might put that in there. But yeah, carpet is great for handling these. End of the day, and like, depending on the cactus, there's nothing like the way that some of these spines glow, and it is just so pretty. It gets even better right now. The sun's a little high, but oh my gosh. I mean, look at all these Argentine saguaros. These are beautiful. We got a ton of them too. Oh my gosh. And I would say most of the ones that we have are on the 3 to 6 foot range. If you guys are interested, we sell a lot of like the 3-foot ones. We also sell like smaller ones that are like, you know, 6 inches to a foot, but 3 foot's the biggest we'll go, because anything bigger than that is just, yeah, they're big. But like something like this, oh yeah, this thing right here, you can get that if you want. That's a thick boy. That's a beast right there. I mean, you guys have, oh my gosh, look at this. That thing is nice. I'm not gonna dig that one up by myself today. I would need a little bit of help for that one. I found the perfect one to dig out. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, I made a rookie mistake, and I forgot the gloves up there, and I'm not gonna get them. But I also don't think I'll need them to handle this. And right here, let's see, we got, how many inches we got? We got about 41 inches maybe-ish, 39. But it's gonna be a little bit bigger than that when I dig this thing out. So yeah, let's get to digging. What I like to do usually is just, you know, kind of go all the way around here. And sometimes when I get tired of digging physically, I pump myself up and I just dig deep. literally and figuratively. Okay, another tip, when you guys are digging, try to dig deep, and you know, you want to try to protect the roots, but also some on these bigger cacti, even if you cut up and damage some of the roots, it's going to be okay. All you need to do is just let the roots also dry out as well. So like if you're ever repotting, or if you have cactus like this in the ground and you for some reason need to re-landscape or do something, before you immediately just plant in the ground again, you can wait a couple days and let the roots kind of like harden and dry before replanting, just for extra safety. There's also a baby, well, I wouldn't say baby, but a smaller saguaro behind this one that I didn't notice when I picked it out at first. I'll show it to you guys right now. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I mean, even this one, like this, for a cactus, this, a thick boy, my goodness. But look at how beautiful it is. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And what, I don't know, this is about a foot maybe. I don't know, I'm bad at like judging without a ruler. I guess I could measure it. You call it, I'll call it like a foot maybe. And these at maturity, I think about 40 to 50 feet. But also it's got to be like in the right environment. So if you're wondering what that is, it's not going to be in a pot in some sunroom. That's totally okay, but that's not going to be the fastest growing conditions. Usually when plants like this are in pots, the growing process is slower. That's why the cactus we have out here, or the cacti we got out here, they grow a little bit faster because they're in the ground. And I always say this, but these are also landscape ready. All that means is that the sun has been beating on these bad boys, you know, since they've been in the ground, and they're just they're not going to get it sunburned as easily as some of the cacti that you might buy from a nursery that's in a greenhouse. Nothing wrong with it, just again, be careful of that. 40 to 50 feet, big boys they can grow up to in the perfect conditions. Compared to the real saguaro, I think it's a little bit faster growing, so it's not going to take a lifetime. Oh, I mean, it still will take a long time compared to like a tomato, you know. So smaller ones, I mean, easy to handle. I usually just handle those by the roots, bare hand, use gloves, use protection always. Boom, look at that rope action right there. That's why I love the rope. Kind of let it down gently. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this thing is way heavier than I anticipated. So I hope I'm going to be able to lift it. But what I'm usually gonna do if I'm down here by myself like this, just to get it out, is I'll usually have like the gator right there, so I don't have like long to go to carry it. And I grab it by the, And what I'll do, so just make sure I got a good grip on it, and then also by the ribs here, and just pick it up. Yeah, that thing is heavy, and I got to try to be careful because, you know, I don't want to throw out my back or anything like that. And yeah. Okay, so this is way easier with two people, and normally I would have help, but my wife's out here watching the World Cup right now, so understandable. She's half Ecuadorian, and she's all into it right now. Shout out to Ecuador. They just had a big dub. Also, obviously, shout out to the USA soccer team. I don't watch much soccer. As you can tell, I called it soccer and not football because I'm out here digging cactus. Yep. Okay, so honestly, I was overly ambitious, and that one was too big for me to handle completely alone. You could kind of see like that's the one, that's the biggest size that we ship. But yeah, that's typically what I'll do with some of the smaller ones is rope, boom, you can handle it pretty well, but get some help. Don't be like me. I don't even know what I was trying to prove to you. I think I was just trying to prove to you that it's a big, beautiful, majestic beast. Okay, and another thing, now that I've done this and I've dug it out, I'll also be listing this on our site, this exact one right here, because other than digging it out and showing you guys, I didn't really have much other plans with it. So if you want that exact one, it's on our site. It's gonna cost you a pretty penny just because of how big it is, and you know, shipping is expensive on these. So yeah, in Japan I went to this coffee shop one time and I bought this cup of coffee, and it was like 20 bucks or something like that, and I was like, whoa, it's kind of expensive for a cup of coffee. And he just said this to me. He said, expensive but worth it. And I took a sip of that coffee and I was like, you know what, this guy's right. It was some of the best coffee that I've ever had. So it's the same thing with those. It's a little expensive, but it's worth it. The joy you will get out of having one of these, you know. And yeah, look at all these. We got tons. Yeah. Arms come out, start pupping like crazy. Oh, and check this little experiment out. So I forget when exactly, and honestly, I kind of forget why we had to do it, but I had to move a couple of these and cut some because they're in the way. And instead of throwing the cut pieces away, I put them on the ground to see if they could root, because I read that with these, cuttings don't always work because they're so thick and there's so much flesh that you're probably not going to get them to root. So what I did is I took a few pieces and I just left them on the ground, and look at this, pups growing. Oh my gosh. Like, this is gnarly crazy. Like, these cacti will not die. They will grow. And guess what? They just thrive off neglect. So, you know, the more you ignore them, the more they want to live. Crazy. Okay, so something else that I wanted to do, if you guys stick around for a little bit, is I want to go on the internet where everything you see is totally factually 100% true. Well, I just want to do like deep research on the Argentine saguaro, and I want to find out as much as I can about it, because you know, I know a few things like the name, the scientific name, the growth rate, where it's good at, what it likes, and all those things, but it's probably a lot that I don't know that I'd love to find out. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to bring you guys into my office or just computer and do a deep dive on the Argentine saguaro. So what I did is I made a little slideshow. I did a bunch of Googling and found out a bunch of cool facts about this. So let's go check out this slideshow. Let's just learn a bunch about this plant. So let's dive in. Also, this is my first time doing like this screen share stuff on YouTube. So if it sucks, sorry, I'm trying to get better. So let's see, how do we do this here? Okay, oh nice, yeah, we're figuring it out. So the complete guide to the Argentine saguaro from start to finish. I want to teach you guys everything you need to know about this plant, from where to buy it, what signs to look for when you are buying it, the care routine, characteristics of the plant. Some of them I talked about a little bit earlier, but a little bit more in depth here. So yeah, the Trichocereus Terscheckii. Boom. And let me go full screen here so you guys can read this, and I'll probably bounce around with my face and whatnot. But what this guide will cover is 5 parts, so there's no guesswork. So, you know your plant, buying online, wrong spots and the fixes, everyday care, problems, and more plant, and a quick care card for you guys. Okay, so let's start with part one, knowing your plant. The Argentine saguaro. So you guys already know the name, the Trichocereus Terscheckii. You may also know it as the Echinopsis Terscheckii, and there's another name for it right here, which honestly, I've never heard it. I've never used that name for it, but you can if you want to. The common name, there's probably a bunch of common names. I call it the Argentine saguaro, and this is the largest cactus in Argentina. It's tough, it's a beginner-friendly columnar cactus, so it's pretty cool. Quick, important reminder, this is not the Arizona saguaro. They look alike from the distance, but they are different plants from different continents, okay? A couple ways that you can tell. The Argentine saguaro is from northwest Argentina and Bolivia. The looks, they are spiny all over with flowers up and down the stem, and branches often start lower, and it's in the Trichocereus family, versus the Arizona saguaro is from the Sonora Desert in the US and in Mexico. Looks smoother with arms usually high up, and flowers are near the top. A separate genus protected by law in the wild. Yeah, not too many differences, but they are different. So where did the Argentine saguaros come from? They grow in the northwest of Argentina, about 1,600 to 6,500 feet up. So that's pretty high. It gets strong sun, so these cactus really love full sun, strong sun, just like it says. So if you copy that at home, you cannot go wrong. Just beat it up with the sun, give it some good soil that drains well, and you got this. So let's talk about the size, speed, and the age. These are big. I'm talking big, big. I'm talking big. These are big, they're slow, and very old. Most will reach, as I said earlier, about 20 to 25 feet, and the biggest ones can reach up to about 40 feet. It grows slowly, maybe about a foot a year. I mean, that depends on what your definition of what slow growing is, but about a foot a year. And that also will depend on the environment, which I talked about a little bit earlier too. And this cactus right here, it can live up to 100 years. So yeah, it might outlive you. So every part of this cactus has a job. The ribs, they swell with water and they shrink when it's dry, kind of like an accordion. Wrinkles just means it's thirsty. And also, if you guys ever see your cactus kind of like shrivel up, this is just a good rule of thumb. That is totally okay. Like when a cactus shrivels up, it's way better than overwatering. Sometimes people get freaked out and they're panicking. All that means is it might be needing a little bit of water, and that's it. The areoles are like the little cushions where the spines and the flowers grow. I showed you guys that earlier. And the tip is where the new growth happens. You want to protect it from damage. Okay, the flowers and the fruit. Personally, I haven't seen any of the fruit myself, but I have seen the flowers. And the flowers, look at this, big, beautiful white flowers. And they say they are night blooming, but I've actually been lucky enough to see them in the daytime. It says here the flowers are white and large, about 8 inches long, and open up at night. Moths and bats pollinate them. Interesting. I didn't know that. Each bloom fades by the next day. I mean, mostly true. I think sometimes the blooms, in my experience, I've seen them last a little bit longer, like a couple days, but they do go away pretty quick. So if you do see them, be sure to snag a pic like right away. Oh yeah, and expect blooms only on the larger ones. I actually have seen we have a couple that we personally sell on our store, cactuswarehouse.com. Yeah, it's my YouTube channel, plug, whatever. The biggest ones we sell are about 3 to 4 foot, and I have seen a couple of those bloom, so that's pretty cool. But usually, the bigger ones, 5 to 6 feet. There's a lot of the 6 foot ones that are taller than me. I see those bloom all the time with these beautiful flowers right here. Yeah, super nice. And yeah, I mean, honestly, they're just really, really pretty. Buying online, and I'm gonna be a little bit biased because I sell these, but I'm just gonna give you good advice regardless of if you decide to get one from us or not, because I want everybody to have a good experience, and I think everybody watching this should get one, you know? So yeah, let's give you some good tips. So 4 ways that it is sold. The cheapest options is seeds, I guess, then there's seedlings, cuttings, honestly, we'll talk about this in a bit, and then a potted plant. Honestly, that is the potted plant, that's gonna be like, well, not potted, what it means there is like bare root. Just buying an established, ready to go plant is what we offer. That's probably the easiest way to go. Personally, I've never purchased seeds from anybody else on my own or any seedlings. The cuttings, that's interesting. So I don't do too many cuttings with this specific plant, and the reason for that is because they're just really thick and it takes such a long time to harden. I haven't seen too many people do it. I haven't done it myself. What I did do is I laid a couple pieces on the ground, and I might be able to grab a clip of that and plug it in right here so you guys can see it. Oh, and check this little experiment out. So I forget when exactly, and honestly, I kind of forget why we had to do it, but I had to move a couple of these and cut some because they're in the way. And instead of throwing the cut pieces away, I put them on the ground to see if they could root, because I read that with these, cuttings don't always work because they're so thick and there's so much flesh that you're probably not going to get them to root. So what I did is I took a few pieces and I just left them on the ground, and look at this, pups growing. Oh my gosh. Like, this is gnarly crazy. Like, these cacti will not die. They will grow. And guess what? They just thrive off neglect. So, you know, the more you ignore them, the more they want to live. Crazy. So yeah, instead of cuttings, I've done that. I guess it's kind of like a cutting. You just take a huge piece. If like you got a big branch or something like that, you can cut it and then lay it on the ground. I mean, cacti are resilient, so even if you try to kill it, it's probably gonna survive. You can see in that little clip right there, the pups growing from it. So yeah, that's super cool. What to look for before you pay. Let's talk about it. So real photos, obviously. Again, biased. I'm doing a plug for my own video because we sell cactus, so it only makes sense. But a real photo of the actual plant, if you go to our store, cactuswarehouse.com, or you click the link in the description somewhere in this video, you'll actually see real pictures of the plant, and you'll see like photos of like me actually holding them. So yeah. A healthy body, yeah, obviously you want a cactus that looks really healthy. An honest size, so a height in inches, and whether it ships potted or bare root. We sell them bare root, and we measure from like the dirt up. So actually a lot of the times when you get it, it's a little bit bigger. And yeah, ours are thick, fleshy, fat boys too, so I think you really love them. Strong reviews and live on arrival guarantee. So that's something that we do. We have like a 30-day happiness guarantee. And honestly, sometimes if something happens even beyond that, my #1 priority is to make sure that our customers are happy. So we have a guarantee where if it gets damaged during shipping or you're just not happy, we'll either give you a refund or send you a replacement so that you know that you're in good hands. So the right season. Prefer sellers who hold during cold snaps. So this is a pretty big one. I try my best to ship when I know it's gonna arrive, but I don't know the weather in all places at all time. So keep an eye on that, and we do provide like heat packs if you want to purchase those. So if you really want to buy it and you can't wait, those do help a lot, but sometimes you can just wait too. And these are just like in the colder places. So if you're somewhere where it's not too cold, it's not something that you have to worry about too much, but just something to think about. And lastly, ask first. You can message the seller. A quick, clear reply is a great sign that you'll be looked after. Obviously, a huge one. Like, reach out to these companies before. Shoot them a message. I'm not sure if you're buying them on like other stores. There's like Marketplace, Etsy, but shoot a message. You can shoot us a message and we get back to you. Sometimes it takes me a little bit of time because it's me doing a lot of the things, so give me like 24 to 48 hours, but I respond to messages and things like that. So those are all things that you guys can do to keep yourself extra protected before you pay. Ordering and shipping. Timing beats luck. So ordering in spring or early fall when the weather is mild, those are just the best times to do it. You can do it in the cold times, but again, I'll even admit this, sometimes in like, December or January, I've shipped out things and the plants have been damaged due to the cold in transit, and I'm still going through this learning process. But what I do is like, again, offer like a refund, replacement, or like store credit so customers can just like wait till it gets warmer so that they can get a nice healthy cactus. So I got your back. But again, you might want to just, wait for the right timing. And sometimes, it sucks to wait, but patience is a good thing. Often they ship bare root and dry. That's normal. So again, it's you don't need to have a cactus shipped in a pot a lot of the times. You can just throw them in a box and it's gonna be good. That's totally normal when it arrives like that. Right here, add a heat pack in colder months. So on our store, you have the option to actually add a heat pack, and those heat packs can stay warm for like 72 hours or something like that. So just increases the chance if you're impatient. Sometimes I am, and you just can't wait. You see something and you really, really want it. Well, that's gonna help. And unbox the day it arrives. Don't leave it in the box. Honestly, it's not gonna hurt if it's in the box for a few days, but you wanna get it out of the box and let it breathe a little bit, and just try to do that as fast as possible. When you get the box, you want to unwrap with gloves. I like to use this brand called Thorn Armor. I buy their gloves on Amazon. I think they're really great when I'm handling cacti with some gnarly spines. So Thorn Armor is great. Some other tools that you can use depending on the size. If you got like a bigger cactus, if you have access to carpet, that helps. Rope can help, but definitely want something so that you protect yourself. A towel. Inspect it. Look for soft spots, black mush, or bugs. Just look to make sure that your cactus is healthy. Sometimes, cactus could, be a little bit damaged in transit because these companies they do hard work, but sometimes it can be, pretty rough in the transit period. So a little bump or bruise there, the cactus is gonna heal. I mean, they're really tough and resilient, but if you got like something that just looks like mush, rot, bad, you definitely want to watch out for that. If you're getting it from us, all you gotta do is send us a photo, and once we review the photo, again, we got your back. And then once you get it, rest it in the dry for a couple of days, maybe like 3 to 5 days, just to make sure that it's dry before you plant it. You want to make sure that there's no moisture on the roots. And when you plant it, let it settle for a couple of days. There's no need to water right away. And you want to plant them in a dry, gritty mix. And like I said, wait several days and give it a light watering. Yeah, and then when you pot it, slow down. Do not water yet. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is when they first get their plant, they pot it right away, and then they just water it too soon. You just want to let the plant settle first before you water it. It's probably not going to kill it, but the number one thing that kills cactus is just too much water, too much moisture. You actually want to see these things shrivel up, That's it's not the best sign, but you'd much prefer to see a shriveled up cactus than one that's like mushy and has root rot. Healthy versus trouble. A healthy plant, it looks good, it's firm and green, and the ribs are nice and fat and firm and all that stuff. It's dry, clean, a little quirky brown at the base, that's totally fine. Some trouble, some signs of trouble. Soft or squishy if it smells bad, black or brown mush that takes up, like if it's like that all over, that's not good. White cotton fuzz, all of that stuff. Just anything that does not look good. Yeah, take note of it, take a picture, send it to your seller, see what they can do for you. Okay, this is a big one. Settling it in. Ease into the sun. A new plant is not used to your sun, so full midday sun can scorch it. And this can happen specifically if you buy from a place that grows their plants in a greenhouse. Now, there's nothing wrong with plants that are grown in a greenhouse, but they could be more sensitive to the sun. So you buy this plant online and they ship it to you, you open it up and you're in this hot place and you put it out in the sun like right away the day that you got it, the chances of sunburn are gonna definitely increase. What you wanna do is just acclimate it over the first week or two, you know, start it in bright shade or the morning sun and then add more. So what you would do is, like, if it's in a pot, you know, early in the morning, just introduce it to the sun and then back into the shade. Maybe you give it couple hours of sun a day for the first week or two. And then keep it on the dry side, right? Keep it on the dry side. Overwatering, I say it so many times, can kill it. One thing I love about our plants is that we grow everything outside. So here in this hot California fall heat, they're getting beat and pounded by the sun. And what that means is that they're landscape ready. And so that the chance of them getting sunburnt is just less because they're already used to the hot sun. So just something to think about. If you can buy from a place that has plants where they're grown outside, probably just increases your chance of not sunburning them. Part 3, wrong spots and easy fixes. Not enough sun, too cold, too damp. You can still grow this plant, and here's how. So first thing you might ask yourself is, hey, is my spot okay? Can I own this plant? Can I have this plant? And a couple of quick questions that you can ask yourself. 3 yes or no questions, and this is not a deal breaker. And in the next slide, I'll show you how to fix each one. So number 1, light. Can you give it 6 or more hours of strong sunlight each day? Right? Yes or no. The cold. Do winter lows stay above 18 degrees Fahrenheit? Can you move it indoors? And lastly, the space. Is there enough room to grow tall over the years? And does that pot drain? So regardless of if you answered yes or no to each of those questions, well, here's what you're gonna do. So bring it into the sun. If you're keeping this indoors, which I don't recommend, but if you have to, use a south-facing window if you can. More direct sun is always better here. Some are outside. So if you're in an area where in the winters you might have to bring it inside, in the summers you definitely want to move it out into the warm months. Acclimate it to the sun slowly so it does not burn, right? So if you've kept your cactus indoors for a couple weeks or months, when it's summertime and you need to reintroduce it outside, just remember that tip. First week or two, you want to just slowly acclimate it to the sun. So whether that's morning sun and it's a couple hours and then you're dialing it back, make sure to do that, right? Adding a grow light. So this is something personally that I don't have too much experience with grow lights just because I don't need. So honestly, what would be helpful is, like, in the comments, if anybody has a ton of experience with grow lights, just share your expertise there. But I'm assuming, you know, strong full spectrum light for 10 to 12 hours a day. This can be a fix if it's indoors. I've heard and read that sometimes even these grow lights aren't strong enough. So like I said, if anybody has experience with that, let me know. And then watch out for stretching. Pale, skinny, leaning growth means not enough light. Rotate the pot, keep it straight. Okay, if it is too cold, keep it dry and movable. If you are in a cold area, you know, you're probably gonna have to keep it in a pot. That's just what you're gonna have to do. But you grow it in a pot, not in the ground, because the pot will allow you to move it indoors before the frost. Dry beats warm. Keep it dry in the cold. One of the worst things, honestly, is the wet plus cold combination. That is like a no-no. You want to stay away from that. These cacti, these cactus are, they're actually, you know, on the more cold hardy side of things. As long as you keep it dry, it can handle some cold weather, some single digit temperatures. Yeah, but you don't want it to be wet. Indoors, keep it in a cool, sunny spot. It's perfect. So outdoor tricks. Honestly, you can use like cloth to cover it. If your cactus sits by a south wall, that could also help. But something usually covering the tip of the cactus may help in those colder months. Part 4, everyday care. Okay, so the soil in the pot. A gritty mix and a pot that drains. Let me say that again. A pot that drains, because that is so important. What you're gonna wanna do is aim for about half mineral grit, half cactus soil. It should drain fast. So like you can do like 50% pumice, perlite, and sand, and then the other 50% cactus soil. Also, I got like another YouTube video where I talked about soil and how to create your own do-it-yourself mix. That'll be somewhere in this video if you want to watch that later for soil. But yeah, and always pick a pot with the drainage holes. Terracotta pots breathe and dry quicker, so those are probably the most recommended kind of pots to use. And you probably want to repot every 2 to 3 years in the spring. Okay, so let's talk about the water. How to water. The soak and dry method. Oh yeah. This is where you will soak until water runs to the bottom. The wet the whole root ball, not a splash. Then wait until the mix is dry, completely dry, and then check with your fingers or a wooden spoon. I mean, I've talked about the soak and dry method all the time, but to keep it super simple, when you water, you're only gonna do it when the plant needs it, and you want the entire thing, the pot, wherever you're watering, to just be soaked wet. And just don't water again until that soil is completely dry. That's like the best way. No watering schedule, no nothing like that. And yes, that is what you need. Ooh, I like this chart right here. How much to water by the season? Here's a little graph here. So like you see the spring, the summer, the fall, the winter. Basically, you know, this just tells you that in the summertime when it's hot, you're probably gonna need to water more. Why? Because it's hot and that soil is going to, you know, dry up a lot quicker. And in the wintertime, not that much, right? In the wintertime, you're gonna wanna keep it dry. Honestly, this right here, I would even ignore, because biggest thing, when I say ignore, when it says every 2 to 3 weeks, every 1 to 2 weeks, ignore that. That should be deleted. You don't wanna be watering on a schedule, right? You wanna pay attention to the soak and dry method. That is much more important than any schedule I can give you. And feed lightly. This is something that I'm gonna start doing. I don't do too much of it, but just fertilizer. You can use a low nitrogen cactus food and try to do it only in the warm growing season. Light, cold, and winter. Sun in the summer, rest in the winter. So once your plant is used to your environment, give it that full sun. So the sources vary on the hardiness zone of this plant, but down to about 18 degrees Fahrenheit, this plant is pretty good. I've actually heard and read in some places that even single digit temperatures it's been able to handle as long as it's not wet. So yeah, of the columnar species, this is one of the more cold hardy cactus, which is why it's so popular. And in the winter, yeah, that's when it's rest. That's when it's dormant. That's why it doesn't need so much water and things like that. So yeah, just let it do its thing. Fix the 4 common troubles. So rot says here, soft and black from too much water, cut above it, let it callus, and repot the healthy top. So that one, I mean, that could probably work, but it also probably depends on the size of the cactus. Honestly, if you guys are in this situation and you want me to take a look and just tell you what I would do, I'd be more than happy to, so you could just like go on our website and hit the contact us page where you can send us a bunch of pictures if you're experiencing rot with this specific cactus, and I would love to help out. Sunburns, pale, scarred patches from too much sun too fast, move it gradually next time. You know, the thing that sucks about sunburns is that once the plant is already sunburnt, there's not too much that you can do, and it's gonna leave a permanent mark, but you don't have to worry too much. I mean, as long as you're fine with some of the cosmetic marks that are left, it's just what it is. You know, it's got a little sunburn, it's got a mark, and it's gonna continue to grow with that, but it'll be healthy, and it's just a learning experience, you know. Bugs. Yeah, mealy bugs. They look cottony. Wipe off and treat those before they spread early. And then corking, brown bark-like base. It's normal aging, and honestly, the corking is not an issue at all. It's not a problem at all. Just totally leave it alone. Free plants, free ways to get plants. Who doesn't love free? Everybody loves free plants. So number one, seeds. Sow them in warm, gritty soil. Sprouts in about 2 to 4 weeks. I gotta get to doing this. I've actually never done this process myself. But yeah, obviously, cactus grow from cactus seeds, and that's where they come from. So if you have one and you're into this process, this could be something super fun. And then cuttings. Like I said, I haven't seen too many people do cuttings with this. You saw my experiment earlier with some of the cuttings or pieces that we just left on the ground, and those will grow new pieces. So it can be done as well. So those are ways that you can just get into infinite cacti. And if you guys want a little cheat sheet, you can take a screenshot of this right here. Just gives you like the lighting, what you want, the watering schedule, keeping it dry, the type of soil, the pot, just a little cheat sheet for you guys. Yeah, and the last few words, remember those flowers only at night, so it says. I mean, honestly, I've seen them in the daytime before, so, don't believe everything online. And, a healthy plant, it can outlive you, 100 years old. So it's, one of the cool things about getting some of these plants is like, I don't know, I would get one right now. I'm 33. It'd be so cool to just like see this plant grow with me until I'm about like 80 years old. If I live longer than that, great. But yeah, that's something that I think would be cool. I know a lot of people kind of like to see the plants grow old with them. And, I hope you guys like this video. And if you learned a lot about it, consider liking and subscribing, because I'm going to be doing more deep dives on plants and cactus and succulents and just doing cool things like this. So until next time, peace.